Alright, so you guys voted for Monster Crown, so Monster Crown it is. That said, today's video is a new series that I've been thinking about putting together for a little while now called The 10 Reasons to Buy Any Given Game. I think this will be really helpful for those who just want a list of any given monster taming titles, key features, and why said features are notable. After you're done here, you can also check out my Monster Crown review where I go more into depth regarding the game's monster designs, its story, its general gameplay loop, etc. With all that said, make sure to sit back, relax, and let's talk about why you should buy Monster Crown. Alright, just for a brief summary, if you didn't know, Monster Crown is a Game Boy Color-inspired pixel art monster taming RPG that features turn-based combat with some caveats that I'll mention in a bit. In this game, you play as a 14-year-old boy who, through some kind of hilarious circumstances, ends up with a monster of their own. I don't want to get too much into it because we are going to go over a lot of the key points moving forward, but yeah, that's the general gist of it without giving away too much. So let's head into the list of reasons why you should check out this game. Number 1, crossbreeding and fusion. Now, I bet the second you heard my description of the game, if you are privy to what Monster Crown is, you were probably wondering, hey, he didn't mention crossbreeding. Well, here it is. Yes, one of the major features of Monster Crown is the ability to crossbreed any monsters and even customize those bred stats, appearances, and color. Every monster has its own unique crossbreed forms, one for each type on top of its base form, making the 200 unique creatures present within the game quickly increase to over 1,200. I know Pokemon Fusion was a huge thing for a while, and I'm not too sure if that's still really a thing or relevant or whatever, but if you are someone who's always wanted to tame and fuse monsters together, Monster Crown is one of those few games that will offer this, allowing for true customization of your creatures. The game does have its own fusion mechanic, which isn't the same thing as crossbreeding, but is similar. It's got different caveats, but the point is there's a lot of fusing shenanigans going on. Number 2, PvP and online functionality. Now, why would you want to fuse your monsters together and create the ultimate crossbreed, you may ask? Well, online PvP and trading, of course. Yes, one thing in the monster taming scene that is actually quite rare, especially amongst indie titles, is the online aspect. Nexomon, for example, is a great monster taming experience, but I hear a lot of people say that they wish it had PvP and trading, and that makes total sense. When you spend a lot of time creating these monsters and building them up, you want to show off that team, and in Monster Crown you can. You can also go online and receive net eggs, which are sort of like Monster Crown's equivalent to the Wonder Trade feature in Pokemon, where you can receive random eggs instead from any online player. Number 3, free DLC. Jason, the lead developer behind Monster Crown, is an absolute legend and is including free DLC packs with the game. So even though Monster Crown is already fully launched, there's actually more Monster Crown content to come. The DLC will include new monsters and new areas to explore. Each of these new monsters, of course, will lead to even more crossbreed combinations, further adding to the plethora of monsters that already exist within the game. Number 4, unique battle system. The game features one-on-one battles, which personally I've always liked single battles because it sort of makes me feel like I'm actually bonding with the monster that I'm using in a more intimate way, since it's just sort of one-on-one, but it is true that single battles can oftentimes have a lot less complexity than those of doubles or triples or even 6-on-6. Monster Crown circumvents this by having its own unique synergy system that allows for more strategic play. You can choose to switch and defend to build up synergy, and each synergy point you build up will allow you to gain special effects on your next attack, like increased damage or adding a secondary type to your attack, and even special transformations, which we'll talk about in a second. This adds almost an all or nothing aspect to the battle because you can build up synergy. However, if your monster gets knocked out, it will make your synergy go away, essentially wasting your turn. So you got to figure out, do you want to build your synergy up to the max and decimate your opponents, or do you want to play more strategically and utilize its still powerful but less threatening lower levels of synergy? It's your choice. Number 5, transformations. Okay, do you guys remember Mega Evolution from Pokemon, that thing that everybody wants to come back, but we're not sure if it ever will? Well, Monster Crown has a ton of transformations that work in the same vein with some of their own caveats. First, you have synergy transformations, which, as mentioned previously, can be activated upon increasing your synergy to the max during battle. Any monster can activate this, so it has the same versatility as something like Dynamax, but functions more similarly to a Mega. You also have unique forms that are specific to certain monster lines, such as the aged versions of some creatures such as Dracoil, who can transform using an atomic clock, an item that rapidly increases the age of the monster. You also have items like Super Grow that can make the usually useless monster a Poe quite the threat, and a whole lot more. Number 6, monster designs. Now, Monster Crown features monsters that are a far cry from your typical cutesy, one of your buddy types. These creatures are in it for their own self-gain, and a lot of them will utilize you as a method for making themselves stronger, almost selfishly. There's a true element of malice to a lot of the monsters, and it is clear by how they are designed that these things will kill you. How did I put it in my review again? The monsters in Monster Crown aren't your friends. They're not these cuddly little animals. These are beasts that want to kill you if it benefits them. Number 7, a more mature and darker world. Now, much like I mentioned with my monster designs, there is a lot more of a menacing tone to the game. Some might even call it a little bit edgy. Characters will die, monsters will die in the story, not in your team. I mean, except in one circumstance, but I don't want to spoil anything. And it's up to you to navigate this treacherous world filled with death and demise. If you somehow thought this was a bubbly story about the power of friendship and all that jazz, let me just say that you're poorly mistaken. Number 8, a choice in the end. Another aspect to Monster Crown that I don't see present in a lot of other monster taming games, bar SMT, is the ability to choose your ending. Oftentimes, as a protagonist, you are pigeonholed into the hero route, and sometimes you just want to ensue chaos. Some of us just want to watch the world burn, and Monster Crown will allow you to do that by letting you choose between being a, and I quote, savior or a dark messiah of sorts. I personally would have liked more evil versus good type decisions earlier on in the game, but the deciding factor towards the end is still something that I quite appreciate, especially when in most games you're stuck being the hero. Number 9, pedigree. Another feature that I think is completely unique to Monster Crown, and I haven't really seen it in any other game, is the pedigree system, which, as far as I know, is just on Steam right now, but basically allows you to upload custom art into the game. There are a lot of stipulations, of course, behind what you can and cannot produce, and if you want more information, check out the Discord server, but basically, custom monsters are a thing. Pretty damn cool. Number 10, semi-open world. Finally, last but not least, yes, the game does have a semi-open world allowing you to explore much of the game in any order you wish, including allowing you to run into powerful monsters along the way. This, coupled with the overworld encounters, which I absolutely love, make exploring the world of Crown Island quite enjoyable. Now, I've always said that not every game needs to be open world or have open world elements, but I do enjoy a game that'll allow for exploration, even in an otherwise linear world, and I think the semi-open world avenue is a pretty good one. There's tons of places to go that are completely optional, and you're given tons of freedom at that. And there you go, guys. Those were just 10 reasons why I think you should buy Monster Crown. There are definitely a few others, but I think 10's a good, nice, even number. Just a reminder that the game is coming to PS4 and Xbox One on February 22nd, which is tomorrow as of the time this video is being uploaded. The game is already available on Steam and Nintendo Switch if you want to pick it up on those platforms. And like I said earlier, don't forget to check out my review for both the positive and negative aspects of the game. Also, let me know if you like this format. I know you guys really like the list-oriented videos I've been doing lately, like the 10 tips and tricks guides, the videos going over upcoming and currently out monster taming games, and stuff like that. Honestly, making these types of videos is a lot of fun as well. Anyways, if you did enjoy it, definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel. I put out new monster taming content every single day, so you won't be hungry. You can also follow me on Twitter, GymLeaderEd. Check out my Discord, all links below. Special thanks to my patrons, especially Dark Persona, Jim Hamilton, and Steel Case. And with that, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.